Hi everyone, welcome to the Modern Day Ancestor, where I share with you guys spiritual and esoteric knowledge sometimes, other times channeled messages and videos about the healing journey, about shadow work and inner child healing, and sometimes meditations. So if this message or my content resonates with you, feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to continue to get my content on your feed. I also want to say how I thank you and appreciate your presence here. So let's begin. So today I want to speak to the part of you that is asking, where do I even begin? What is going on? What does it mean to be on a spiritual journey? And how do I even start my spiritual journey? So basically we hear a lot about the spiritual journey from the books we read, from other people, other creators, the tools, the courses, all the retreats, all the stuff and all the fluff there is outside, you know. And really, if we strip away all the external noise, what is really true about it is returning back to self. That's the whole thing, the summary. The video is over. Okay, listen. So the real journey really begins with us remembering who we actually are, with us remembering that inner light before it was touched and changed, and it wasn't really changed, but I'll get back to that. Before it was affected by the external world, right? So let's start at the beginning. For me, the beginning was not that glamorous. It was not glamorous at all, in fact. In the beginning, it was a quiet realization. It was a painful one too, to realize that I didn't know myself anymore, because my life was unfolding in such a way, in such a messy, noisy, crowded way that I had to sit a minute by myself and really think, okay, I recognize the patterns. I see what's going on. I don't want to do that anymore. I see what's going wrong, and I want to change that. So it was really sitting with a painful realization that something is heavily wrong and something needs to change, and really allowing myself to sit with it, to feel it, because in order to start, it was taking that first step of I need to begin somewhere. I need to self-reflect. I need to really allow myself to reflect on all the things that have been happening and start asking myself questions about the famous question, who am I? And when you begin to ask yourself that question, a lot of things begin to unfold and unpack. It's really a lot to unpack. So yeah, it wasn't really, in the beginning, it wasn't the crystals or the ceremonies. Really sitting with that realization, sitting with the self-reflection, with the shadow work, with the inner child healing, with the balancing of the feminine and the masculine, because a lot of women, I was one of them, we tend to be in our masculine for most of our life if we were born into this hustle culture, right? So for me, it was doing all those things, but it's also the spiritual journey really started the moment I allowed myself to feel all of this, the moment I allowed myself to sit with the discomfort of everything instead of running from it. And really, I started allowing myself. So basically, it's giving myself the permission. I needed to give myself permission. So yeah, the beginning was truly about permission, giving yourself the permission to just be curious and explore, the permission to not have not have all the answers, the permission to um, yeah, really explore all the layers of the self that were buried under different mechanisms like survival, fear, expectations of ourselves and the world around us. So really from there the real work begins, because you learn to not be chasing that enlightened version or some version of enlightenment, but rather learning to sit with yourself with complete honesty. You'll start eventually feeling old wounds resurface. You will feel a lot of resistance. um, you will hear your ego like panic because the more and more you uncover, the more that ego is, I don't want to say disintegrating, but it is in a way. And that is in order for you to allow the true version of you to bloom, to come out. And you'll want to quit at so many times because shadow work is hard. At times, it feels like shadow work kind of feels like death sometimes, because the old versions of you that you used to know, so what you know is leaving, is ending, for the real you to come out, you know. And so that will make you feel like you want to quit, but don't do that, because something much more beautiful and much better is coming out to the surface. And I want you to know that that is completely normal, because what you're truly doing here is that you're undoing lifetimes of programming. And not just from this lifetime, there's ancestral imprints, there's like karmic karmic loops, there's soul memories from even civilizations that you have forgotten, you know. Like the spiritual journey is, it's not really becoming somebody else, it's the unfolding of who you truly are. It's like peeling away all these layers to truly stand in your original light once again. And let me tell you, that light is breathtaking, because once you get there, you start to realize that all those layers were really hiding the true gem that is inside. So yeah, it's you. It is all of that, and the beginning is very messy, and it is raw. It is often, it gets very lonely at times, because you will start, as you grow, not everybody will understand you, and in fact you will be misunderstood many many times. And I want you to know you're not alone. You have a lot of supporters. Your soul just walked this path. I can tell you, it walked this path in many lifetimes. If you resonate with this, you will understand what I'm saying. Every time you choose honesty over being comfortable, um, you are like giving yourself a new beginning. Every time you choose to be curious instead of judgment, this is when you are also beginning again. And every time you choose um, your own truth, to stand in your truth over the noise coming from the world around you, you are giving yourself a new beginning. So that's the real start for everything. Okay, so if you feel you are standing on the edge right now of your spiritual journey, you kind of feel lost or like halfway through, know this: you're not lost. You're already doing it. You're on your way back home. And when I say on your way back home to yourself. And the real question here is not where do I start or how do I start, but the real question is, how much of my soul am I really ready to remember? And believe me, this has been very hard to do. It's it has its own challenges and obstacles along the way. And if you're willing to take one step into that journey of remembrance, the universe, be sure that if you're willing to take one step into that journey of remembrance, know that the universe is willing to meet you halfway all the time. We have spirit helpers and we have guidance along the way. So every single time you will find your guidance. So at the end of this video, I honor you for being here. I appreciate you for clicking on this video. Thank you again. If this video resonates with you, if you'd like to keep receiving my content and my videos, feel free to subscribe and hit the like button so you can follow my journey. I love you guys.